Our society thrives on mobility. We are constantly on the go, working, playing, shopping, and staying active around the house. More attention has been placed on maintaining an active lifestyle through health promotion and fitness among all age groups today. Hello, I'm Ron Berthold, and welcome to our program, Fall Prevention. Many of our older adults need encouragement and assistance in becoming more mobile. In this program, we will discuss the predisposing and external factors that may prevent the older adult from ambulating independently, and we will demonstrate the proper use of assistive devices. Have you ever considered how many older adults fall every day in this country? Falls are a serious health problem among older adults. In the U.S., 1 out of every 3 people 65 years and older falls each year. Older adults are hospitalized for fall-related injuries 5 times more often than they are for injuries from other causes. Of those who fall, 20 to 30% suffer moderate to severe injuries that reduce mobility and independence and increase the risk of premature death. Many factors can predispose the frail older adult to falls. A previous history of falls would be considered a red flag for the healthcare worker. Generalized weakness from recent illness can cause an unsteady gait and balance and lead to falls. Weak muscles, poor vision, cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, some medications, memory loss, depression, and confusion can also contribute to falls. External factors can also contribute to falls. Some of these may be found in the home setting: poor lighting, loose rugs, clutter, beds, toilets without handrails, liquid spills on floors, poorly fitting shoes, weak seating, glare, use of full-length side rails, uneven flooring, bed height, inadequate assistive devices, lack of safety railings in rooms and hallways, malfunctioning emergency call systems, poorly fitting or incorrect eyewear, and poorly positioned storage areas. Can you visualize how easy it would be to fall? Before walking or transferring a client, always examine the environment for a clear pathway of movement. The average cost per fall injury is estimated to be approximately $1,400 per person. This can include fees associated with hospital and nursing home care, physician and other professional services, rehabilitation, community-based services, the use of medical equipment, prescription drugs, local rehabilitation, home modifications, and insurance administration. Direct costs do not account for the long-term consequences of these injuries, such as disability, decreased productivity, or quality of life. Falls not only affect the quality of life of the individual, but also influence the caregiver and family. Healthcare costs for falls and rehabilitation average $70 billion a year. Even if the fall does not result in hospitalization, fear of falling becomes a major factor. This, in turn, produces a cycle of fear, loss of self-confidence, and inactivity, thereby decreasing the quality of life and increasing the risk of falls. Our goal as healthcare providers is to anticipate the risk and provide a safe environment for ambulation. Let's look at ways to keep your clients safe while ambulating. There are a variety of techniques and assistive devices that can be used to help your clients achieve independent mobility, yet still remain safe. It is important that you are aware of these techniques and be familiar with the proper operation of the assistive devices. An assistive device that must be used whenever transferring a client is the gait belt. The gait or transfer belt is a piece of webbed canvas that fastens securely around the client's midsection. It can be used to steady a client who is walking independently or used to guide most of the client's center of gravity to the new surface. There are several advantages. You hold the client securely. The client does not need to hold onto you unnecessarily. You don't need to hold your client's arms, and never allow the client to place their arms around your neck. Clients may suffer serious injury when their arms are pulled in an effort to move them or support their body weight. In the event a gait belt is not available, another secure belt can be adapted for use for this purpose. Another important safety consideration when moving a client is footwear. Socks are more dangerous than bare feet on tile or wood floors, but both are dangerous. Slippers or shoes with a non-slip surface are best. The client should avoid sandals or open shoes, especially with diabetic or visually impaired clients. Now that we have covered a few important safety items, let's begin our demonstrations of transfers. Many of your clients need assistance in getting up from a lying or sitting position to a standing position and back to sitting again. For example, healthcare assistants often assist clients from the bed to a wheelchair or from a wheelchair to a toilet or shower. The technique you use for performing these transfers is vital to the safety of the client and of you. When assisting the client with a bed-to-chair transfer, remember to use the following techniques. Inform the client of the steps involved in the transfer. Assist the client to a sitting position on the side of the bed. Be sure the client is not lightheaded or dizzy. If so, wait until the dizziness clears. Move the client to the edge of the bed with their feet firmly on the floor. Position the wheelchair next to the client and be sure the brakes are locked. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Again, review the steps of the transfer with the client. Assist the client to a standing position. Pivot with the client, easing them slowly to a sitting position. Remember, maintain good body mechanics. Now that we have reviewed the proper techniques for a bed-to-chair transfer, let's move on to the shower transfer. As with any procedure, when assisting the client into the shower, always explain to the client each step involved in the transfer. Fasten the gait belt and assist the client to a standing position with the walker. While supporting the client with the gait belt, walk with them into the bathroom. For clients with limited mobility, it is very important to have grab bars near the shower and toilet. Encourage the client to use the grab bars while assisting them onto the shower chair. Once the client is positioned safely on the shower chair, assist them with undressing and showering. Another common transfer performed by healthcare assistants is the wheelchair to dining room chair transfer. Remember these points when assisting a client into a dining room chair. Position the wheelchair, be sure the brakes are locked. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Review the procedure with the client. Assist the client to the edge of the wheelchair seat with their feet firmly on the floor. Assist the client to a standing position. Pivot with the client and gently assist them into the chair. Many times, clients will need to be assisted into the automobile. Here is a demonstration of how this may be safely accomplished. When assisting a client into an automobile, remember these important points. Position and lock the client's wheelchair. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Review the steps of the transfer with the client. Remember to have the window down on the passenger side door to allow the client a place to put their hands. Assist the client to a standing position. Pivot with the client and assist them into the automobile. Some clients are not so fortunate, however. Due to severe illness and debilitating conditions, many older adults are unable to ambulate independently. Because there is such a wide range of mobility impairment with our clients, we must be flexible in providing assistive devices which are appropriate for their level of ambulation. These assistive devices, if used properly, can give your client independence and allow them a better quality of life. However, if used incorrectly, these assistive devices can become a serious safety problem and lead to life-threatening situations for your clients. Because as a healthcare assistant you spend so much time with your clients, you may be the first to observe a client using assistive devices or equipment incorrectly. If you notice a client is using a device incorrectly, report it to your nursing supervisor immediately. Let's explore a variety of assistive devices and equipment used in healthcare today. Although this equipment will be demonstrated by a licensed physical therapist, always consult the manufacturer's instructions before using devices or equipment with clients. Specifically, the devices and equipment we will discuss are canes, walkers, and Mary walkers. Remember, always visually inspect these devices for missing or damaged rubber tips, missing screws, and poorly functioning wheels. It is also important to adjust the height as needed for each individual. For clients who are more dependent, we will demonstrate the use of sliding boards, transfer discs, and mechanical lifts. Now we'll join a physical therapist as she demonstrates the proper use of a cane. When a client is using a cane, instruct them to hold the cane in the hand of the non-affected side of their body. Move the cane and affected leg forward simultaneously. With the cane as support, have the client move their unaffected leg forward. Repeat this process as the client walks. Always be sure the cane is the appropriate size for the client and is in good condition. Clients who need more assistance with ambulation than a cane provides may require the use of a walker. Let's watch as a physical therapist demonstrates the proper use of a walker. When a client is using a walker, be sure they follow these important steps. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Assist the client to the edge of the chair. Make sure the client's feet are apart and behind their knees. Ask the client to lean forward and push upward with both hands to a standing position, then grasp both sides of the walker. Be sure the client is not lightheaded or dizzy. If so, wait until dizziness clears. Instruct the client to move the walker forward first. Then move their affected leg into the middle of the walker. While supporting their weight with the walker, bring the unaffected leg forward. Repeat these steps while the client is using the walker. Always be aware of the strength and endurance of the client when using a walker. When returning the client to a sitting position, have the client back up to the chair with their feet apart and their legs touching the chair. Instruct the client to reach back with both hands and lower themselves down into the chair. Although the use of a cane or a walker is preferable for clients with limited mobility, some clients who have problems with endurance and stability may need the assistance of a Mary walker. A Mary walker allows clients independence, freedom of movement, and social interaction, while providing them with a place to rest when needed. Once a fall occurs, the Mary walker should replace the use of a standard walker. The walker should also be used for a client who falls backward or who has poor cognitive abilities. It encourages continued use of the legs while building strength and assists in the safe return of ambulatory status. For clients who are unable to ambulate on their own, the healthcare assistant may need to use other devices to assist them in transferring a client. These include the transfer disc, the sliding board, and mechanical lifts. When using a transfer disc, place the disc directly in front of the client's feet. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Explain to the client the steps involved in the procedure. Assist the client to a standing position on the transfer disc. While supporting the client, pivot the disc around so the client's back is toward the bed. Carefully assist the client to a sitting position on the bed. For clients who are unable to stand on their own, a sliding board may be used to get them in or out of a wheelchair. When using a sliding board to assist a client, explain to the client what you intend to do. Always lock the brakes of the wheelchair. Remove the arm of the wheelchair on the side of the sliding board will be used. Fasten a gait belt around the client. Position the sliding board with one end under the client's hip and the other end on the seat of the chair. Be sure to support the client as they lean to the side to allow placement of the board. Instruct the client to push with both hands from the bed onto the board. Assist the client as they slide across the board into the chair. Instruct the client to grasp the arm on the opposite side of the wheelchair and pull themselves completely into the chair. For clients who are completely bedbound and cannot assist at all with their own ambulation, a mechanical lift may be necessary. There are many types of mechanical lifts used to assist clients with limited mobility. The reasons for their use and the basic principles of their operation are all similar. In this demonstration, a physical therapist will use an electric mechanical lift called a Vanderlift. When using any mechanical lift, have at least 2 people present when using a mechanical lift. Explain to the client the steps involved in the procedure. Position the sling under the client by rolling them onto their side. Position the lift with the legs under the bed and the brakes locked. Attach the sling to the lift. Slowly raise the client to just above the bed level. With the client safely supported by the lift, position the client over the chair. Gently lower the client into the chair. By using these various devices correctly, you can help your client achieve a feeling of independence and greatly improve their lives. If you are ever unsure about how to operate any device, always ask your supervisor or a physical therapist for instructions. Let's now briefly review what we have learned. First, we discussed the ways to keep your clients safe while ambulating. These included the use of the gait belt with any unsteady clients and the use of proper footwear your client should wear. A physical therapist demonstrated proper techniques for the safe transfers in a variety of client settings. Specifically, the transfers we discussed were the bed to chair, shower transfer, wheelchair to dining room chair, and the wheelchair to automobile transfer. And finally, the physical therapist demonstrated the proper use of a variety of assistive devices and equipment. These included walking with a cane or walker, proper use and discussion of the Mary Walker. For more dependent clients, we discussed the sliding board, transfer disc, and mechanical lifts. It is important to note that when working with any type of equipment, always follow the manufacturer's recommendations when using the equipment. Because all clients are different, we must use a wide variety of techniques in order to help them optimize their mobility in a safe manner. If you follow the ideas and techniques that you have learned in this program, you will have confidence when helping your clients. You will be helping your clients to achieve a more independent way of life. I'm Ron Berthold. Thanks for watching.